With the release of a new system comes the inevitable speculation about a new Zelda installment. With the last two 3D releases set in the same Hyrule comes the inevitable speculation about where a new 3D game will take place. Littered within these videos and their comments is not an uncommon idea, but there's no going back to Termina. Here's why. Is Termina a real place existing in the same reality as Hyrule? Is it an alternate or parallel dimension? Is it a figment of Link or Skull Kid's imagination? I don't know. And though some sources leave very little to the imagination, it's not exactly clear, and that's really the point. Any return to Termina, any elaboration on its existence, any revelation about these details only seek to dilute the mystery. A mystery that is the main allure of Termina, the reason it's so compelling. And the reason the mystery needs to remain intact is because... And now I don't mean this literally. Like I said, Termina, in some interpretation, could be a physical part of Hyrule. What I mean is that its world functions much differently from a narrative perspective than Hyrule does. As a setting for a game to take place, Hyrule has a long history of being elastic. It can stretch and warp while still maintaining its familiar aspects to ground us in a world we recognize without becoming stale. Hyrule is like Batman. It's whatever Zelda needs it to be, but in doing so, it still contains the same landmarks, main characters, and relics. There's the volcanic mountain, the holy forest, Hyrule Castle, Zelda, usually Ganondorf, the Master Sword, and the Triforce, but not always in name. These things tether us to the land that is Hyrule, even when it changes its physical form. One could make the argument that returning to Termina, especially an open-world Termina, would simply be following this same logic. But just existing as a physical setting featured in a single game is not what makes Termina special. Trust in the heart of the cards on this one. Termina is not just a mysterious, not exactly Hyrule counterpart. It is a culmination of intentional gameplay and layered story, integrated into a very specifically designed world. Termina is not elastic or malleable like Hyrule, and it's not meant to be, like West and East Egg in The Great Gatsby or Area X in the Southern Reach trilogy. Termina is as much a character in the story as Link, or the Happy Mask Salesman, or Skull Kid, and as such has particular traits unique to its character. Not just the physical setting, Clock Town and its clock tower, the four regions and their landmarks, the Stone Tower or Swamp Palace, etc., but the moon, Skull Kid, Majora's Mask, the hero of time, the ever-repeating 3-day cycle, the giants, the masks, and how the inhabitants of Termina weave them into their festivals, their culture, their daily schedules, how they influence Link's abilities, and his ultimate soothing of the regrets of the dead and still living. Changing any of these unique traits in a new entry changes the character of Termina. It would be like playing a Zelda game where Link never shuts up, or Beetle becomes a thief, or a vibrant young girl becomes confused and fatigued. Yeah, they may have the same name, but their traits make them unrecognizable from the characters we've become familiar with. And not only that, the entire game sets the stage for a deeply personal and introspective meditation on the trials and tribulations of the hero of time, about how he overcomes his suffering and the suffering of others to ensure the dawn of a new day. Even the name itself, Termina, which derives from terminal, which has led some to consider it like a disease and that Link is dead or hopeless, more broadly simply applies to the end of something. It could be the physical outskirts of the land of Hyrule. It could be the figurative end of the journey of the hero of time. And it could be prophetic in that beating the game ends our time there. And there's no reason to go back because there's no going back. It wouldn't be the same. Now, I know this is the internet, these are opinions on the internet, and this is not something to fuss over, but I do think it's an interesting conversation starter. This is a strange, unique game in the Zelda series that I love, and that I think is better off existing on its own terms, with no sequels, no returns. But I'm also open to being convinced. Do you think the Zelda franchise ever needs to return to Termina? Do Do you just care about the setting and not all its other aspects that make it what it is? Or do you have some other reason? Do you want to go back for answers? Is it worth the risk of not liking what you may find?